taking the Triumph Bonneville Bobber out, also 1200cc of fun and joy. I'll put all the stats up. Anything non-standard about this bike is the mirrors, which are a bit smaller. At first I thought, oh god, you can't see anything. Actually, they're pretty good, they're not too bad, I think they do a job. Something interesting of note, this moves up and down, that's probably a choice. That's most unusual, don't think I've ever seen that before. Big thing? Nah, not really. It's got cruise control, hasn't got heated grips. It's the only thing missing on this bike that I'd definitely get first of all. I'd probably get LED indicators, maybe some different exhaust, but actually it don't sound too bad. And you don't need earplugs, which you would do if you've got some custom exhaust arrows or Vincent Hines, a la Harley Davidson. Yeah, okay. Looking forward to it. I'll take my key. There it is. Right. Key goes actually in the engine. Right, now, getting on the bike. Let's put kickstand up. First thing you notice is your knees are really bent and your feet are flat on the floor. Typical of a Harley 48 as well. Very low bike, suitable for anybody, probably apart from Warwick Davis or the short bloke in Game of Thrones. It's got slightly forward pedals, not fully forward pedals like you'd get on the Harley Davidson models. Somewhat in the middle. Took me a while to get used to it on my ride down here, and also my boots. At first I struggled to get through the gap to lift the gear stalk, but not too bad. So let's turn her on, clutch in, put there. See, not too shabby. First engages quite nicely. Okay, bump, 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 over the bumpy, bumpy. Right, where should we go? Well, let's go left, this goes. Nice little chopper in front of us, with a day glow top on. Oh, I've put brakes on here. Yeah, I'll tell you what I did notice on my first ride down there, first time ever in my life it's happened. When I'm driving along, my knees don't touch the tank whatsoever. Most bikes, they're hugging it, so that's a bit of a new for me. I mean, neither here nor there, fair enough, but an interesting fact. Well, now I'm on the bike, the seat is really comfy. Obviously a little short bobber, hasn't got much of a spring there, not the old-fashioned style anyway. But it is pretty comfy. Now what I do find though is that my kind of back is curving. So I think personally for me, I'd raise the handlebars by about 2 inches, or I'd have those kind of V-shaped handlebars or U-shaped handlebars that you get, not high risers, but just a little bit higher than they are now, which would push my back up a bit like that. Push me up a little bit, which would be slightly better for me. I feel like I'm rounding over the bike, which, when I think about it, is how often you see Harley Davidson riders. Their kind of hands are quite far forward, and they're kind of hunching over the front of the bike. Now that can't be good for your back, neck and spine. So that's a change I'd do. The clutch isn't too bad, you know what I do, I've got to adjust it. It's a bit of a reach for me, I've only got small hands. It's got 6 gears on the up. Now it's got a little LCD screen down there. I do mean little. It's not much good to be honest. What you can see is the fuel gauge on the left, so that's pretty handy and possibly the most important thing. Now it has got a rev counter, which you can toggle through the mode button on the left hand side, the big I button on the left in grey. But you can hardly see it, and what's the bloody point? If you're looking down that rev counter, you're not looking on the road, so it's actually dangerous. So there's no real point in that whatsoever. When you get used to the bike, you know what gear anyway, you start to feel it, don't you? Obviously I'm new to this particular model, so I'm not in that niche quite yet. The handlebars are possibly the most perfect width actually. Not super wide, like you get in some bikes like the Ducati Scrambler. And not super narrow. They seem in a decent position, just that I'd like them higher personally. I can bring my knees in to hug the tank, but it feels unnatural, so I just let my legs splay in a natural relaxed position, and they're about 2 inches away. That's good, because actually it's less vibration in your body. I'm used to the foot pegs now, I'm used to changing gear, haven't got it perfectly, but it's not too shabby. And the bike sounds good. It's got a nice burble at that lower end, similar to the Triumph T120. Nice, very nice. I haven't missed a gear yet. Easy to get into neutral. thank you, mate. Let's get into the sun. This is the end of June in the UK. It's a heat wave coming over from the Saharan desert. It's not as hot as Paris, at like mid-40s, but it's heading towards low 30s. It is, let's put that, rather hot, to say the least. Don't know where I am, but I know I'm near Guildford. That's good enough for me. Looking down the bike, quite nice. It's not that cluttered because there's not a lot of electricity going on. The forks look nice, the handlebar looks nice. Usual kind of switches that you get. Not easy to make those look any better. The actual speedo dial is pretty clear, pretty nice. This is the black edition, this bike. If you're going to get the chrome edition, it'll look nice with a chrome dial. There's a beautiful one, the Speed Twin. Obviously this only got one instrument. So, I mean, I'm so used to digital speedos now. You catch it at a glance, you know what you're doing. On this one, you've just got to make, you're there for a bit longer. But hey ho. I said the mirrors are non-standard on this bike. They're pretty small, but once you know where to look, they're pretty good. I'll tell you what I do find, which is most unlike Triumph, going back a few years, is that the mirrors are staying where they are. And not only that, they're not vibrating the mother out of themselves. So you can actually see the mirror and see what's behind you as clear as you like. Now that's a step in the right direction. So that's pretty good. And all the power comes about 3,000 revs, so it's low and torquey, which is what you want from this style of bike. There's no power whatsoever as you get further up the rev range. It really runs out of breath. It's like an asthmatic wearing a paper bag over their head. Okay, it's not what you want on that bike, and it's not what I want in my next bike. Sports bikes keep trying to kill me, so I think I've learnt that. I just want a relaxed cruiser. It also looks damn good. I love this bobber style with the solo seat. It's not as good looking as a CCM Spitfire bobber. This is just about the best looking bobber I've seen in the market. However, that's a 600cc one cylinder bike, but I might put an order on it because it's a year waiting list, and well, at worst I might lose 500 quid, but then again you'd buy it and you'd make money straight away because they're so desirable. What am I doing? I don't really want to go on the A3, do I? Now, considering the heat of the day, this bike isn't kicking off a lot. It's nothing like a Ducati might do. So that's good, actually, because that can affect your enjoyment of summer riding. I tell you, it's bloody hot. Let's wind up a little bit, shall we? We've got some nice roads. You can just tap the downshift should you want to. You don't have to pull in the clutch. There's no real dramas. I mean, I'm pretty sure it hasn't got a slipper assist or a slipper clutch. But it's certainly no dramas going down it. Actually, saying that, I did have one bit of backspin on the rear tyre, but for life of me, I can't remember if I was accelerating or braking. Oh, well, whatever. Either way, on this bike, you don't do things in a hurry. Just take it easy, enjoy the scenery. Oh, wonderful, wonderful day to be alive. It's so interesting to see how this compares with the Harley Davidson Sportster 48, back to back. This and the Harley will be a really interesting comparison. A place called Wamborough, it's quite nice. Oh, that just I tell you what, the front brakes on this bike are awful. I thought I got used to it, but then I was going downhill there. I mean, you've really got to press them in. Really got to press them in. I mean, you've got some proper strength, actually. Quite surprising. Bloody hell, turn around that bend, scrape the foot peg. It's the first time I've ever done that on a bike. This must be low, because it's showing not my skill set. This is a slightly nicer bend. This kind of bit put me off a bit, that is. Cool, it's a slow bend. See, I don't want to bend over too much now. It's a bit disconcerting, that is. I wasn't expecting that at all. Oh, well, never mind, eh? I don't think it really matters too much, but my foot went up and it caught me out and scared me a little bit. Oh, wow. Nice. So yeah, the front brakes are, well, woeful. You've got to really pull them in to do the job. I mean, once you get used to this bike, you've been on it for like an hour or so, or, you know, it's really going to start to be second nature, to give it a big hug. Ironically, the back brake is amazing. It's certainly amazing, well, from 30 going down to standstill, which is when you're going to use it. So that somewhat makes up for it. I've been putting both on at the same time. I don't know that's what you're meant to do in braking on a motorcycle, but I just don't feel the front's giving me the feel or the urgency that I'm expecting. So my foot naturally goes to the back brake and just gives it a little dab. I've got to be a little bit careful, I suppose. Oh, acceleration. That's the first thing I've ever taken since I've been on the bike. It's not a bike that makes you want to overtake vehicles. It's got the low down torque, but it still doesn't seem like there's a lot of power there to propel you past the car safely. So you've really got to think about it. Make sure you've got a clear run. But that's fair enough, isn't it? I mean, actually, I think it makes it a safer bike, actually, which is probably better for me. This road's a bit bumpy, you can tell by my voice jumping about a bit. This bike definitely suits my character. You can't rag it. You can't go massively fast on it. You can't go around bends like a nutter. Show all my weak points. Right, no idea where I am. Putnam, Godalming that way. I've definitely been to this road before. Fun enough on cycling with my cycle club. That's how I know this road, but just a bit lost now. So changing gear's not too bad. Clutch isn't too heavy, but it's not particularly light. It is adjustable, this and the accelerator, so that's good. The actual gear shift itself, changing up and down, is really good with your left foot. I haven't had a problem with that, apart from the fact, as I said, originally I couldn't put my boot comfortably through it, but now I rest my toes on a foot peg and I know to kind of lean my foot forward and slip down before I then change gear. So that's absolutely fine now. Happy days. Well, that's about it really. I mean, it is what it is. It's a very good looking bike. It's not stupid money, it's below 12 grand in this black variation. It's got enough power to make it fun, it's got enough torque to make it usable. It's pretty damn comfy in this standard seat setup. Looks good going down, there's no great stress in your body, except for me I'd raise the handlebars a little bit just to make me more upright. An enjoyable place to be. So interesting to see how this compares with the Harley Davidson in fun and that feeling that it gives you, which you never put your finger on, just that I'm loving it kind of attitude, which all bikes give you, and non-bikers won't understand it or appreciate it unless they're in a supercar. So I think I'll leave it there. So this is Aid signing out. Take care, ride safe out there.